All right, welcome in to a DNVR Rapids Postgame show. Unfortunately, it's a loser's lounge, and we're presented by the homies at Ivaka TV. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, aka Merchel, and I'm joined by my esteemed panel of co-hosts, the Yaselina master himself, the super producer in the land, my guy, Yahir Vasquez. What's up, brother?
How you guys doing today? I'm surprisingly chipper about this game. So
I'm kind of in the same spot. I'm sure the chat will agree with us 100%. Also joining us, the man with the plan to put out some dope graphics, Invisible Labs, the art director at All City Network and DNVR Sports. It's downtown Dwayne Brown. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? I'm here for the sarcasm.
Dwayne's
glad you're starting it off strong.
Well, we started off the day with a dope graphic, so thank you for that, Dwayne. The kayaker headed into Vancouver. That was awesome. Shouts for that. We introduced the Rubio tracker. It was just it was all downhill after that, man. It was the thing that has been plaguing this team, but also the thing that plagued Vancouver. And that was kind of my note going into this, is whoever scores first is probably going to be great, because both these teams give up goals early and often and don't come back, right? Of course, they give up a 14th minute goal on just a terrible turnover. Terrible turnover. We give up a 23rd minute goal. 40th minute goal on another terrible turnover. So it's 2-0.5. Rapids get one back from Zardes after Lewis just went saucy as all get out. Cleaned up a bounce off the keeper. 2-1. Zardes probably had a couple chances there after that. Lewis had a couple chances after that, including one off the crossbar in the first half. I feel like a lot of goals were left on the board by both teams. Dwayne, give me I don't know if you have a rant in you, but what is your first gut sentence out of this game?
No rant.
No rant?
No, I'm
famous last words before a rant.
And no, I'm not. I will just say that, and this is no surprise, Wilson was very, very, very bad in this game. He had 2 assists on the night, could have been 3. So I don't know. I don't know what the solve is there.
Yeah. What's your just first gut reaction to this game?
it wasn't that bad.
Thank you.
It really wasn't bad. If anybody's like super complaining like about this game, I get it. If it's a gut punch, it is a gut punch. I'm not saying it's not. But when you look at the perspective of this team as a whole and not just of what it is right now, I have bigger gripes with other things than how they played tonight.
Yeah, I think the thing to start with is the 11, right? So you knew you were down Price. You knew he's out for a while. You got Acosta out with the yellow card accumulation. Lucas out with the yellow card accumulation.
Real quick, B-Ray. I don't know what game you were watching. My
yeah,
guy.
bro.
I love
Disagree, B-Ray.
That's the craziest take I've ever heard.
Yeah, man.
I love you, B-Ray, but I don't know what game you were watching.
I mean, Gus wasn't good either. It was the center backs were bad.
Not defending Gus at all. Like, it's just that Wilson take is wild. Wanners, you're a Wilson fan.
Come on, Wanners. Yeah. Look. So you're forced to start a midfield. Your options are Gutierrez, brand new. He's had 2 games with the team, maybe 3. You have Ralph Prizo, you have Max, you have Warner. That's pretty much it. What do you do, right? Like, what do you put together? Fraser opted to go very offensive heavy with essentially 6 attacking players, starting with Gutierrez and Max in midfield, along with Rubio and the 3 attackers up top. It's just too. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me from the jump. I think I said in the game thread, I said not a lot of defense, a lot of offense, and what happened was the lack of defense didn't allow that lot of offense to get going. It just didn't. There was no possession being held. Defense was turning over, bad passes. It was just, there was nothing there. And I think the biggest mistake was not starting Warner and Prizo from the jump. Those guys immediately came in and were present in possession. It was really tough. It was really, really, really tough to watch. Yaya, to me, the story is that holding midfield, like kind of start to finish.
See, I won't be honest with you guys. Like, that is true. Like, the holding midfield sucks. Like, that's why Vancouver was able to break away real quick. That's why they held most of the possession. You could tell right away that Vancouver was controlling the game because of that. They didn't have a midfield that was meant for passing, meant to hold possession, meant to play through the middle like they usually do with Rubio. But, I don't know, man. I'll get it into later, but I have bigger gripes with other things. Like, that holding midfield sucked. It did. But I still thought I really liked what Fraser was going for, which was the offense. You can't win if you don't score. So I like that mentality that he said, fuck, let's go for it. Like, let's try to go win this game. We need the 3 points. It didn't work out, and maybe a tie would have been better, especially on a short week. But I do like the aggressiveness from Fraser, knowing that it is the final stretch. He does have to start producing points. And it's hard when most of your team is not playing, either due to injury or stupidity.
Oof. Stupidity. That's harsh for Yaya.
So,
no, but
like,
it's not though, because Lucas and Acosta both. It's like they're guaranteed yellow. It's like a guaranteed yellow.
And I'll get it into it now.
Dumb yellows, yeah.
I'll get into now. My biggest gripe with the team, and I've said it before and during the season, is they have no discipline. I've got into this before. I love when Rubio goes and does his shithouse things. I think it's the greatest thing ever. I find it hilarious. But at a certain point, you're hurting your team more than you're helping them trying to get those fouls. And Rubio already faced that once. Rubio already faced that situation where he wasn't present for that New York game, and it cost them. They could have probably won that game if Rubio was available. But now these other players, knowing that they have accumulation of yellow, don't play safe. I remember Acosta last game. He was going hard at every player. He was trying to be super aggressive. What do you do now? You put your team in a tough spot in the next game. They don't have discipline, and that's what pisses me off the most, because you're putting your team in a hole every week when you can't play. What's the best availability? Yeah. And when you're not available because you're doing stupid shit and you're trying to be too aggressive, that's not helping your team on the pitch during that game. That's when things start pissing me off, and that's when I think needs to be a talking from Fraser, needs to be a talking maybe from Porrick. I don't know who it is, and I bet that they do a great job of it. I bet they've communicated that before, but it sucks when you don't see that effort to be available every game. And they're worried about that one game and they're being too aggressive without any foresight for the future. That's when you get results like this, because now you're playing with a depleted midfield because you don't have Jack Price due to injury, not his fault. It happens. But you don't have Acosta, the perfect Jack Price replacement. And then you have Berisher out there I thought did an admirable job, but he's not Lucas. You lost that offensive power because you keep playing aggressive when you already know that you've done stupid things in the past.
I think Waters has a few good points, and I'll get to those first. But Dwayne, the point I really like from him was he says this was Fraser's worst game. Where are you on that? Do you think this was a Fraser problem or a player problem? Honestly,
I think you're trying to get my quote from earlier when we were talking during the match.
The quote? Yeah, what's the quote?
So I was talking to Mitch during the match. They showed Fraser on the sideline. I said he looked like a 5-year-old whose mouth had just been shoved full of Brussels sprouts. And I feel like that was kind of how he was feeling there. I got to put it on Fraser on this one because I agree with you on the 11, man. Like, I'm as excited as any of us to play the young guys and see what we got there. But we had next to no veteran, work going on. And so I think Warner should have started. And somebody in the comments also said they prefer to see Prizo start too. And I would agree with that. Like, I would have rather seen those two start in the midfield and versus what we had. I also would have started Abubakar over either one. Like I said earlier, Sophie's choice, in my opinion, between stubbing him out for Wilson or whatever. There's really no good.
It was bad.
You sub one of them and hope that was the right sub, because it was pretty weak between both those guys.
I gotta mention Warner's mention of the just full dad core from our guy Frazier. It's just a little bridge too far on the dad core, which he does love. He loves himself some tucked in shirt to jeans. He loves the but that hat wasn't it. Not it today, Frazier.
It was like the July 4th hat. It was the July 4th hat, but he was wearing it. I think it was a middle finger to Canada is what he was doing, because he was wearing a USA hat.
That's funny. I didn't think about that.
But the thing is that Frazier usually looks good, man. Frazier's a good trusted guy. Like when I see him on the sideline, I'm like, yeah, that's my coach. That hat sucks.
Yeah.
That hat completely sucks. Such a bad hat.
Hot takes from DNVR Rapids, everybody. Not hot takes, hat takes.
DNVR Rapids hits America, confirmed. We're Canadians now. We're all Canadians on this spot.
Okay, so here's the problem now, because I think, and it's kind of going down in the comments here with the Prizo talk. Here's the problem now coming into this weekend. You now have another option added back into the midfield, right? With Acosta coming off of that yellow card suspension. But to me, I think Max no longer an option to start after this game. I think he had some bad turnovers, just some kind of the only moment he had was that nice one touch to the shot that went, over the crossbar. Wasn't actually too threatening, but I think he's out. So now you're stuck between Gutierrez, Acosta, Priso, Warner. It's tough. I think
Warner Priso out of those.
Priso showed the dog for sure. I love that. He was really the only dog out there tonight. Rubio got a little feisty. Lewis was just balling. Lewis was balling.
Lewis was half dog, and I'll give him half the dog because first half he didn't do much. Second half he took out the.
He was going after it.
Yeah.
Yo, Lewis. All right, let's give some flowers, man, because there was a lot of bad, but I think there was some pretty solid stuff, man.
Should we push that to the end of the show so
flowers?
We can end on a positive?
Yeah, dude, because that after that Gaia injury, we just ended this on the most down bad note of all time. That was like the most depressing finish to a show we've ever had.
Let's keep being sad for a while. It's fun being sad.
I also think the Mikey B. Nicholson thing is a really interesting problem to have, because that Mikey, Lewis, Acosta, or Zardes, Rubio, right? That attacking four has proven to be fantastic to me. Like fantastic might be a little strong. Above average to pretty good as an attacking foursome over the last month or so, maybe 6 weeks. And Nicholson said he was in better shape at the presser after last game, came out. He could not get around that edge. All three of his corner attempts went right into the defender that was marking him. It was tough. It was a tough 60 minutes from Nicholson. He did not have it. He didn't have it. And Barrios immediately comes in and changes the game, like immediately. So I'm kind of done not having Mikey start, at least on my end. Like he has to be in that 11.
The thing about Mikey, man, we saw it in the second half too when he did come in. He was better, but he also missed a lot of opportunities. I think there's just no right answer between the two. I think you just have to write the hot hand at this point, because there's no guarantee for either or which one's gonna work best. Because I do love Mikey. I'm a Mikey fan, even though people think I want to get rid of him. I'm looking at the tea leaves and looking what front office and Frazier's doing, but I don't know, man. I think you just have to write the hot hand, because there's times that Mikey's struggling, like last week, and I thought Nicholson came in and played better.
Yeah.
So
I think the problem is Vancouver was just, those wings were just wide open. Like me and Blaine could have been running down those wings with the ball at our feet.
It's true. I can barely run from one end of the camera to the
other. I don't know about that.
It was okay, yeah, but come on. I mean, it was Lewis.
I don't know about Dwayne running from one side to the camera. I'm talking about Dwayne running. I'm not talking about the Rapids. I'm talking about Dwayne.
To get into the Max problem specifically that they're talking about in the comments right now, his role is where Lewis is best and where kind of Gutierrez is best and where all these players that love to operate out of that left-ish just above the
They
box.
all have
There's
left-
just
they have
like,
left wing so
and
much.
Max is like the worst option of that. Like there isn't a spot for him yet. And like he said it earlier in the comments, but Max just needs to be, he needs to just be starting at R2, playing 90 minutes a match until the season's over. Like there's no reason at this point to not let him get continuous 90 minutes where he is, because that's the thing at R2, he's going to be a much more impactful player immediately. He has skill, like the skill's there, right? Like let him actually be able to use the advantage of that against lesser competition, younger competition. But he's just getting kind of schooled, man. He just looks completely lost. Like just out of position, overlapping players, can't hold the ball at his feet. It's tough, man. I'm a Max guy too. I think long term is a great prospect, but it is.
I think
stock
part
is
of it
at a
is that
very low price.
I think part of it is that when we started this show, we literally started in February. We looked at Max and we were hyped. Young Brazilian kid had the highlights. We were all talking about how good he looked in them highlights. And we had high expectations for this guy. When he didn't come in and immediately prove to be at the level we thought he was going to be, it's kind of disappointing. But it's our own fault for having those high expectations, maybe. We'd never realized the language barrier would be that big, which was for the first part of the season, according to the Rapids. And also, we didn't realize how much development he still needed. All we had to base off what Max was doing was highlights, and of course, those looked awesome because you go to YouTube, you type in Max Olives, and you see this dude running and shooting great balls. So part of it, I feel like it's our fault for her setting really high expectations for the kid, but also it's about to be a year.
Well, man, like with Galvan coming back, right? You get Galvan back. You're so loaded up front. Like, I wouldn't mind him playing with R2 through next summer, right? And if it's down I mean, this is obviously getting kind of far off the topic of this game, but like, just like let him get 90 minutes all the time because right now he's 6th, 7th, 8th best option in that space, and it's like it's not time to develop him right now. It's time to like get points and get in the playoffs.
And this, like, and again, off topic, like super off topic. We were talking about this, Mitch, on the transfer deadline. That I was talking about. If you have Max, Lewis, Barrios, Yaya, Barrios or Nicholson, either or, and then that transfer rumor we heard of that dude I was super hyped about that I won't mention here because I don't want to say any names, but we heard that name and I just
Rapids
got
insider,
hyped. No, I'm not Rapids insider, guys. Don't come at me. I'm not Rapids insider. I promise you. You can check my Twitter accounts. But we heard a name.
Yeah, it's just crowded.
Yeah,
it's crowded.
And I started going listing all the names, and I'm like, somebody has to go. Like, I'm really excited for this, but like, somebody has to go. Like, you can't have these many wingers. You can't have these many midfielders playing on the 10.
Yaya won't be available for most of next season, so there's one less option down there, unfortunately. I guess we haven't heard officially, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
What we assume.
Yeah, and then all right, well, let's talk center back now. What do you do this weekend? Like, what do you do against Houston? Like, 3 points was necessary anyways, and now it's like it's do or die. You cannot give up these crappy goals, and Wilson has just been like a freaking magnet for mistakes. Oh, Juan, you're getting blocked, bud. Sorry.
Who did I block? Joseph the other day by accident. I'm still really sorry about that, Joseph. You're the host.
But Dwayne, what do we do for what do we do for this back line? What's
Wow, that is a loaded question for me. Here's what I will say, because I don't know what the answer is. The back line is bad. Okay, it's bad. No one's going to convince me otherwise. It's just Wilson was bad. Mauricio was bad. It's just
Wallace was solid.
Yeah, Beta was great. I thought he was
Beta. There's more flowers to give later. Beta.
Yeah, he's going to be my flower receipt. He's going to get the rose for tonight from me. But
we should do a Bachelor style. Give the rose. Everybody else has to walk off. It's going to get launched into the sun.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I don't. Here's what's in my head, and this isn't really answering your question.
Okay.
But while you guys were just talking, sorry, but I mean, it's sort of related. Because I think some of the big problem with the Rapids right now is that there's no accountability for bad, right? You see guys have bad games and then they keep playing. There's no substitution made at halftime or they get to start again the next game. And, for me, if I'm coaching, like I'm benching somebody because that they need to know, like, you got to play better, and so like, I don't know what that means for the back line. I mean, I know who I would have subbed out at halftime today.
Yeah. You would have subbed Wilson for Lawless.
Yeah. And
same.
When I'm thinking about playing the young guys, I'm also trying to put myself in the shoes of Fraser, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do when you got a bunch of young guys coming up into MLS? You want to hold them accountable, but you can't bench them or send them to 2 right away because you also don't want to destroy their confidence in their first season playing up. So it's a touchy, I'm kind of looking at it from a leadership perspective, and I'm trying to take myself out of just the players here. And I'm looking at, that playing that hard game of being, a coach and a leader and trying to figure out, how do I make those moves, whether they're subs or they're, send down to 2 or whatever it is, in a way that is positive. Like you're saying, Mitch, like, hey, let's send Max down. He'll get the 90 minutes and it'll be awesome, and I agree with you as a fan. But like, if I'm Max, like, what effect does that have on him? And I know the knee-jerk reaction is, well, too bad, you're a pro, you need to be able to get over it. That's not how athletes' brains work. And so I'm not sure. I'm just saying, I think Fraser's job with this particular squad, having to bring in so many new players and then trying to figure out, what do I do when they're not good, is more difficult than just simply subbing out or sending down to 2. Like, I do think he's stuck with these players for a while, so he's got to nurture them, but he's also got to be a coach and hold them accountable too. And that's a very fine line as a leader to maintain. So
you're saying you would start Keegan and Drew Moore at center back next week or on Saturday?
I would
love it.
I would
Beta,
start anybody over the
Beta and Lucas outside, Keegan and Drew Moore inside. Banish the rest.
Well,
no, that's a little dramatic. That's a little dramatic.
I would do that though, because it's not going to be any weaker to do that.
That's fair. Yep. What are they going to do? Make bad mistakes and give up easy goals?
Well,
yeah.
The thing is, I think we're overreacting. It will be weaker because what we don't realize is that even though Danny had a bad game today passing, his passing is like the catalyst to the offense a lot of the time.
No, you're right.
With,
I'm just trying to.
Yeah, no. I'm just like, I know.
Here, dude.
It just feels like I feel like we're overstating. Like, even though I thought I hated Wilson today, I literally felt like launching him into like the ocean.
We didn't hate Wilson. We just hated his game today.
Yeah.
No, I felt like really angry. Not at him as a person, but as a player.
Right,
like
the
today.
Game.
Yeah, like not him at all. Yeah, like he's
the performance.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else on the bummer side we got to get out before we talk about the homies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Real quick.
Yes.
I do have.
No. Let it go.
I agree with Dwayne when he's saying that there hasn't been a lot of like accountability, but as much as I want to blame Fraser, I think a lot of that blame goes down to Price, and it's not deserved blame for not him because he's been injured most of the time.
He's been injured,
but so like it's not even his real fault.
All season.
But I think it falls a lot on his shoulders because he is the leader on the pitch. He's the guy that keeps everybody composed. And I think Yarby and Wilson and Keegan do a very admirable job, and they try really hard to keep that together. Mm-hmm. And I think the squad really likes each other. What we've seen is that they like appreciate each other as people and as players. But I also think having that one person they can look to and say, "What do we do, boss?" That's not on the bench. That's not yelling. It's really hard to do. Like when you have Price out there,
right.
It just keeps the team kind of stable. And I think that's a very understated part that we don't have Price. We don't have the leadership. They don't have the leadership out there on the pitch that can yell at him, "Hey, dude, You got to get this shit
Well,
going.
also
Hey,
not having
calm
Acosta
down.
too. I mean, Acosta does a good job of that. I think.
Yeah, he's
I
a
really
good field
do. Like
commander.
I bag on Acosta as much as anyone, but like he like you could tell he like because he's had to fill in a lot. Price has been out a lot, and you really missed it tonight. Like really, really missed it tonight, and it's
Yeah,
crazy for me to say that after all the Acosta slander I've had on this podcast.
And the thing is,
Man.
Acosta's a great player, and I think he fills in like on the player side. But the leadership role that Price has, I think, is just unmatched to anybody on the team. Even though there might be some that are like right there, people listen to. Price has been like doctored in as the dude that you're gonna listen to, and I think the leadership has been missing more than the actual play on the field.
Yeah, you're
Totally
right.
Totally agree.
And I do think that as tough as a job as he has had, the players haven't made it any easier. Like in terms of holding people accountable, and because the people that step in haven't there's not a lot of runs of form that you can point to that are like outside of the obvious, right? Like Rubio, Lewis, Zardes.
I'm sorry. Can you pull up Zach's?
Hayden, shout out our guy
Zach
Hayden,
just
rules.
solved the problem. Just solved
Shout
the
out.
problem right there. That's what happened. Everybody's equipment was messed up tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think I think there's
man from now on.
Look, I think there's still enough talent. There's 2 points between 6th and 11th right now, which is unfortunately where the Rapids are. But there's 2 points from 6th and 11th right now. I think there's enough talent to make a playoff game, no doubt. The West keeps losing. No one's very good in that group. They're all
Nobody steps up.
They're all pretty much equally crappy. Like it's like what I'm saying. Like the whole bottom half, just they're all kind of crappy. So, it's like let them. I think you can see both the things you need to address: center back depth, holding midfield depth. Like I think to me those are the 2 big ones. If you can think of some other ones, drop them in the chat or what. You guys can chime in, but I still think there's enough.
DP9.
And I think, yeah. DP9. Oh God, we can't start that. I think this game was rough, and I think it exposed a lot of the problems with the roster, but I don't necessarily think they're major problems with the team. Like with this team specifically being on the field, like they can go get 3 against Houston right here, right? Like no problem. Oh my God, I knew Juan would be pissed about that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just this game.
You're frustrated. You're just frustrated.
This is what I think.
I'm almost at rant level, but I'm not there yet.
This is hold it together, Mitch. I think you're there. I think tonight, like, it's more of a trees than the forest thing. Like, I still look at the team, and this is not a bad team. Like, this team is better than Vancouver, and agree with me or not, but this team is also better than Columbus. We should have beat both of these teams, but I'm not going back to Columbus game, but tonight it wasn't. I don't feel like it was a bad team performance as much as I feel it was multiple bad individual performances.
Correct. Yeah.
And
just like, not enough. The tide wasn't high enough to raise the boats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it was I had a in my previous career, I had a mentor one time, an old dude would always say like real old man grandpa things, and he would, one of the things he used to always say is, it's not the lion that you have to look out for, it's the ants that will eat you up. And I think that is kind of appropriate for tonight because it was multiple. It's not it wasn't the other team that Vancouver was this amazing juggernaut team. It was all of the bad mistakes at an individual level. And that's what ate us up in this game and kept us from getting 3 points. And so, again, I don't think this is a bad team. I think this is a good team. I think they're better than Vancouver and they're better than Columbus and they're certainly better than Houston. But, tonight it was just a lot of individual mistakes that unfortunately added up to be too much to overcome. You can
Nailed
have
it.
one
Nailed
player
it.
with
Nailed
a bad game, but when you have multiple players with bad games, it's a lot to overcome. And I think that's what happened tonight.
Yeah, and I
But
don't think
it was super a lot of mistakes too. Like
Yeah.
Keegan's like pass, Keegan not going after the ball, that Max pass that led to Wilson not going after that Wilson's pass, Wilson not running after the ball, and Max's horrible pass too. And then you also had Sardis missing wide open goals. It just a lot of it wasn't like you have these mistakes in every game, but they were super loud today because there was nothing to make up for them.
one note before we talk about the homies at Ivaka, Joseph. I'm not gonna write off an offseason that's 5 months away. I just can't do it yet. I agree that it's a big uphill climb, but it's you never know, man. You never know. Galvan coming back is like a piece added in free agency almost because he missed this whole season. I don't know. We'll see. I am curious. We're gonna talk about some Flowers. Forget it. We're done. We're running with
Let
that.
it go, man. Just
We're sending
say
it.
it out loud right now.
No, we're sending it.
But
It's gone. It's into the wind.
If I wanted to look at Flowers, how could I go back and watch the game to see who I give
Who
the
to give flowers
Mitch?
to? You know, you can do what Yaya did tonight.
What's
if you
that?
were smart, if you were a smart TV watcher and consumer, you'd go to Ivaka TV. You'd go to the real ones, dude. Ivaka TV is the new GOAT in Colorado sports. That is the greatest of all TV. Ivaka delivers amped up sports coverage for Colorado fans, featuring Altitude. Get your PIDs on. AT&T Sportsnet. Get your Rockies on. The hunt for 69 is on, baby. They're right there. They only need to go 17 and
29.
26 down the stretch or something. Yeah, something like that. That's it. That's it to hit the over. And you can watch it on the Sportsnet. You can also watch NFL Network. You get the most regional content for the lowest price for sports in Colorado, all in crystal clear HD while using less bandwidth. You enjoy over 60 entertainment channels, including news, movies, and more. Turn your home into the ultimate game viewing zone. You can even stream your teams from your phone, laptop, or tablet. When you're on the go, you can also add on a discounted Sling TV bundle to get ESPN and more. Vodka is only $25 a month plus a $5 receiver fee. Right now, Colorado sports fans get $10 off per month for your first 3 months. That's through the end of the Fleming and Cello era right there. You can see the rest of it. To score this deal, go to evoca.tv/Colorado10. That's evoca.tv/Colorado10. No contracts, no catches. Evoca TV is made for champions of the remote. The homies at Evoca, thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, Flowers time. Flowers.
Yeah, leaves.
He's like, I'm out of this.
No flowers for nobody. No flowers for you.
Okay. I mean, I think the obvious flowers to give off the very top. Juan says no flowers. There are flowers to give. I thought Lewis was an animal tonight, man. I thought Lewis was an absolute animal.
I think he gets the stem of the rose.
Not the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't forgive the first half. I'm sorry. I can't forgive it. Like everybody was mad, but
he didn't have a bad first half. No one could get him the ball. Like there was just that's not his fault. And when he got it, he was in the box. He was getting to the box. I thought everyone, Zardes, Lewis, Nicholson, not so much. Definitely Mikey. When the ball got to them, they were finding the space and making stuff happen. But Lewis, particularly, that split defenders into the box for that shot that Zardes cleaned up was, that might have been one of the nicest moves we've seen a Rapids player pull off this season.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Lewis
and I wish he finished.
Really
I wish he finished it so Zardes didn't get the goal. Like it was sick.
Yeah,
so sick.
I thought Lewis played well. And again, the first half not his fault, but it's always like I'm looking at the whole performance.
Sure.
I think he deserves. Maybe
I think the first half was incomplete.
Like
you know what I mean? Like first half was like an incomplete. Yeah. Second half was dope, dude. And then Beta, right out of halftime, immediately clears one off the goal line. Less than 10 minutes later, clears another one that would have made it 3-0.
Beta's dope, man. Beta's
dude,
such a
Beta males in this pod for sure, dude. We love ourselves some Beta, baby. For sure.
Are we
you
the
can see Beta in the comments too. Huh?
Are we the Beta babies?
No, we're Beta men. Beta males.
You can be the beta.
I think that's hilarious. I think that's the funniest thing you could call yourself of any Rapids player
A beta?
fandom is a
Yeah.
beta male. That's funny.
A beta male.
It's a joke. It's social commentary.
On what? I want to know who needs the social commentary.
Let's see. Mikey. I don't know. Does anybody else get flowers, guys? I know Juan said no, but who do you guys think? Drop it in the chat. Dwayne, anybody get flowers that we didn't talk about? Oh, geez. You're all leaned back. You might be. Dwayne's going dark.
No, I'm good. No, I mean it's Lewis and Beta for me, and I mean Beta would have been my top choice. He saved it from being, more disastrous. So I thought he played hard, and on that back line, like he was carrying what he could on his shoulders. So I give him, big time props for that.
I think Zardes had a pretty good game too, honestly.
I have one.
Ooh, okay.
I think Rubio deserves flowers.
Okay.
I think Rubio deserves flowers for all the reasons that people don't realize. Dude is a great teammate.
He is. He is.
I love how good of a teammate he is. Like, it's so easy for him after Zardes came in. Have a good night, Juaners. Dream about Rubio. It's so easy to go in, like, after having Zardes coming in, DP9, everybody's excited. And then it's easy to just feel down and not want to do anything anymore. And dude has stepped up even more. He celebrates with Zardes. He's the first guy that runs out there and hugs them and gives them a hit like, dude, you killed it. I just want to give Rubio his flowers for being a good teammate. Maybe not the game, but I think he deserves. I just want to give Rubio all the flowers.
I thought his effort was a little questionable at times. I don't think he was running out balls like he could have. I think I just think.
Yeah, it wasn't the play. It wasn't the play.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. But also, like, he kind of has that same reaction that all of Rapids Twitter does, where it's like down 1-0 or 2-0. It's like, no, I'm not. There's no point in running that out. Like, what's the point? Yeah. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, there's so much going on here. Let's go.
With Rubio, it has nothing to do with his game. It just has to be like off the field stuff. Like, today I'm focusing on off the field.
Okay.
I thought that was
I have one more on field. One more.
Yeah. That's good. Like that, mine was just like all the off the field. I think was
and it's not even really like on field. It's just like happens to take place on the field. But who showed? Yeah. You know who showed some dog tonight? Do you know who showed dog?
I'm so afraid.
Ralph Prizo, dude. He came in and showed some dog.
Yeah.
He came in and got feisty in the corner down there when they were trying to stick the ball at the flag there and just waste time.
First yellow.
That was a bad yellow.
I thought he looked. Yeah, well, whatever. Who cares? He's not. He's in no danger of accumulation.
We might need him.
No, Mitch. He's in no danger of accumulation. He's in zero danger of accumulation.
I have another one. I have another flower after you're done with your piece of one.
I got one.
No, I mean that's just it. He didn't. He only had a few other touches, but I thought. I think he was good on the throw-ins on the side there. He just looks like he knows what to do.
Like Prizo. The thing I liked about Prizo is that. And again, visual, I'm a graphic designer. So I will just look at like how a dude kind of presents himself and like moves around the field. Prizo just looks good. Like when he's on the field, he's just like, he's got like swag,
he knows what to do. He's not guessing.
Not like
it's the opposite
ego
of Max.
Swag, just like confidence and out there. He just looks comfortable and
he looks effortless. It looks effortless when he does stuff.
Yeah, he just looks good on the pitch.
Have you guys ever been to, and I love doing cross sport references, but have you ever been to like a Nuggets Cavs, Nuggets Lakers, Nuggets Heat game and seen LeBron James in person?
Yeah, I've seen LeBron before.
The second he walks through that tunnel, you're like, oh, that dude knows what's up. Like that dude knows what time it is. Like that guy
just looks like a basketball player. Yeah, he just looks like the dude.
And like, obviously, I'm not comparing Prizo to LeBron James, but what I'm saying is there's an attitude there's a confidence and an intent in movement where every action is purposeful because every action leads to another action. And I think Prizo has that. I don't know. Even in his 7 minutes or whatever he played tonight, I just loved every minute of it. Like he was just even running to grab the ball and a good throw on a throw in is more than Max did all night long. Like,
dude,
you know what I mean? Like he was just good.
Yeah.
Like
the perfect way for me to put it, like Prizo is BDE all the way. That's all it is. Like if we really want to like quantify it into what it is, it's BDE. And I don't mean to like go into like, but it is what it is. Like dude just comes out with a confidence and he carries himself like I'm the dude and he doesn't think about it twice. It's like I am that dude.
Yeah, I really hope he starts. I want to see Acosta Priso as the midfield with Rubio.
I want to see
Against
that
Houston.
Price Priso one so bad, dude. It's
Price Priso, yeah. I mean, but it's going to be a
he's
while.
injured. I know. Like hopefully he comes back next week. We don't know, but just that Priso, Priso Price. The PP, the PP midfield,
the PP,
the PPR,
yeah, PP, yeah. Totally,
dude. I want to give flowers to
Flower. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's the referee.
Really?
I wanna give flowers to the referee.
He was terrible.
Dude, give me a minute. How you can go through a whole game being blind and still be a part of the game is incredible to me. Like, he showed perseverance the whole game. He couldn't see what was going on, and he's still there.
He must have dropped a contact or something.
Yeah, dude was horrible. But I want to give him flowers for being so bad and sticking to his guns
and
being even worse.
Bodies were flying both sides.
So bad.
Like a lot of defenders running through like legs off of kicked balls and just like it was ugly. It was an ugly game. I'm surprised there wasn't a penalty called just because he was that bad. But that would be the opposite of why he was bad. So
it's like the ironic flower, man, because he was so bad.
Yeah,
you get the flower just for participating. Honestly, like so
you
bad.
showed up to work today. Here's a flower.
Literally, dude. He's not gonna get anything else because it was so bad.
Guys,
here's my last flower.
Just one.
Yeah. Here's who gets the last rose is whoever got stuck with doing equipment duty. So
everybody had their stuff.
That wasn't somebody's job, but somebody picked.
I forget who that was. We definitely asked about it after the last game.
So props to whoever that was for stepping in and getting it done on the road. Road game too, not even at home. So
yeah, good job.
Equipment
too.
Manager,
you're the man. I wonder if they pulled a Rockies and had someone from analytics doing laundry tonight.
I kind of hope Frazier was like. I kind of hope that Frazier wore that hat because all those other hats are dirty. Because I kind of hope that's the story behind that. Frazier's like.
I think he did it because he went to Canada. I really think it's.
I love that.
There's better hats,
especially when you look down the way and he's wearing that Vancouver home shirt.
Rapids hats. There's not a whole lot of options there.
You don't gotta wear a Rapids hat. You can just wear an America hat, like any American hat.
Oh, we gotta wear a team hat. That's
he doesn't always wear team gear though.
Well, he did tonight.
Yeah,
it'd be funny if he just had like a starter hat, like a
he wore
club
and country. He wore club and country gear tonight.
I would have loved for him to wear an Avalanche America hat, like
it was Jordy Weidman. It was Weidman, I'm pretty sure. Thank you, Joseph. That's who I remember talking about.
Because you asked. All right. I remember you asking.
Yeah, we definitely asked a lot. That was probably the thing we talked about most after last game was what that process was going to be.
Who's taking over here?
It's interesting. How often does your equipment manager get a red card? I mean, that was awesome.
It was awesome.
All right, guys, let's talk about the rest of the week. We got a nice little week for us. Like starting tomorrow. After right now. I mean, this could have been better, but tomorrow we have
the week starts now.
We have the homie from C38 Pod. We got Jared joining us tomorrow for our Houston preview, for talking about our tailgate, which we'll get into here in a sec. And we're going to do the tailgate draft. We got a draft tomorrow. You guys ready? You guys been doing
it? By the way, guys, already decided the order, just so you know.
What do you mean you decided the order? We're not going to play rock, paper, scissors or pull Scrabble tiles out of a hat or something?
I had to decide the order for the graphic.
Whose expected dog is higher, Andrews or Priso?
Expected dog.
I go Priso.
Joseph, it's Priso. He's breaking that metric. We're going to have to design a new metric to calculate Priso's dog.
Marks per minute.
It's going to be like, how like there's like Raptor and LeBron and Carmelo that like mean all sorts of crazy mathematical things. It's going to be something like that. It's
going to be Dre in this because Dre actually created a metric.
A dog metric?
No, he created a metric back in the BSN days where it quantifies any sport, like how good that athlete is. But you can go into any sport. And
he created some really interesting ones. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We'll get Dre back on, obviously. But yeah, so we're gonna talk with the homie Jared tomorrow. I was with him earlier this week on the C38 pod. It was fun to hang out. Yaya was swamped, couldn't join me. Dwayne was swamped, couldn't join me. But we're going to get to hang out with Jared tomorrow. That's going to be fun. That'll be 3:00 tomorrow. So look out for that. And then, we're gonna be holding it down in the office with the Nuggets guys going to Serbia tomorrow. It's gonna be Rapids focused.
Be busy. It's gonna be busy.
Bro, I'm already swamped, man. Kale leaving is gonna leave me on another dimension.
It's okay. We're gonna have fun tomorrow.
At the end of the day,
and then Saturday,
we're gonna be tired and punchy, and it's gonna be funny.
And then Saturday,
what's happening? Saturday?
DNVR and C38 together, official for the first time this season. We're gonna be hanging out at the C38 tailgate. We got a nice little crew coming. Dwayne and some homies, Yaya and some homies, me and some homies, the DNVR homies, Andre. It's going to be a nice little crew. We'll be hanging out before the game. Come say what's up. Fireworks game against Houston. So even if the game sucks, we can watch fireworks afterwards. Unless you're Dwayne.
Fireworks.
80th minute.
It's going to be fireworks. There's going to be ketchup.
Lots of ketchup involved.
This is also my first sporting event in a year.
Since you got married. Yeah.
No, not since I got married.
No, but I mean since you were getting married and you were doing all sorts of stuff with
I'm
that.
super hyped to actually be doing something.
We're getting a Yaya appearance.
He's going to be at the Dick.
Yeah, it's
going
to be
super dicking around, man. I'm so hyped.
It's going to be tight, man. I'm super excited. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for those of you that are going to make it out and hang out with us. Sorry for those who couldn't make it out. Next time, for sure, we're going to try and do this as much as we can. We love the events, love the community stuff. I mean, what else do we got to plug? I think that was it. I kind of stomped over plugs really hard there.
I think my biggest plug is, as always, give us a 5-star review on Apple or wherever you hear it.
That's the biggest thing you can do is reviews. Yeah. Reviews are so helpful.
I saw somebody give us a 5-star. Really appreciate it. I wish I knew who you guys were so I can give you a personal thank you, but I really appreciate that. Anybody that gives us 5 stars helps us out so much. And again, interact with us on Twitter. Interaction on Twitter is really helpful for us. Me, Mitch, and Dwayne are starting to step up our game a little bit more. We're starting to brainstorm things that are coming up. So just let us know what you guys want to see and hear from us. Visuals, videos, what you would like to know.
This semi-professional podcast is getting semi-professionaler.
Exactly. So we're trying to step our game up in all aspects. Let us know what content you guys want. Who do you guys want on the pod? Which players do you guys want to hear from the most? That sort of stuff, and more. We're more than happy to accommodate for most of that stuff.
Dwayne, what do you got, bud?
Man, I just want to thank everybody for staying up late with us again. I know it wasn't the funnest game to talk about, but it's more fun to talk when all of you guys are in the comments and letting us know how you feel and ideas for the future and what you think worked and didn't work. And it just makes everything more fun. So I know we say it every show, but it's because we mean it. We appreciate everybody jumping in and joining us every show. And, what everybody's been saying, Mitch and Yaya, is we've been talking a lot about new things to bring into the show to make the experience more fun. Some pro level, some just real silly. Direct all your silly ideas to me, and we will make the silly happen. So, but yeah, man, we appreciate you all so much. Thanks for being a part of all of it. It makes it so much more fun.
And I want to give a quick shout out to Dwayne, man. He's been killing it with the graphics lately. He's really giving us a boost on that. And I think Mitch deserves a lot of credit for always being on top of the threads. He does a great job.
A lot.
So follow those two guys, man.
Thank you.
They kill it. See, I'm so iffy on Twitter. That's why I don't ask people to follow me, because sometimes I tweet all day. Sometimes I tweet.
He gets feisty.
I tweet.
He's not always on there, but when he is, he's got that dog in him.
These two dudes over here absolutely kill it. So I always give them credit because they help elevate something that I dreamed for so long about. So
okay, last thing I got to plug this weekend at the DNVR Locker summer clearance sale. We got all sorts of stuff on sale this weekend, including Rapids scarf and our Rapids crest t-shirt, both on sale. Dwayne's wearing both of them, I think. I don't know if he's wearing the shirt. I can't really tell, but he's definitely wearing the scarf.
I'll never tell. You'll just have to guess.
My guess is yes. But yeah, all sorts of stuff. I also got all the players that have left town that we still have t-shirts for are 90% off. So like dirt cheap. Huge Faku fan, I got a dirt cheap Faku shirt for you.
Or even if it's not, those shirts are comfy, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Great
They're
sleeping
way
bag.
comfy.
Yeah, we got a ton of good stuff. Obviously, just the DNVR merch. There's the Nuggets Die Hard. I got that in white and blue as well. Those are on sale.
Pow!
Avalanche Championship stuff is on sale.
Pow!
All sorts of stuff. Bam, bang,
Pow! Pow!
bang, bang, bang,
Wacky
bang.
inflatable tube, man. Wacky inflatable tube.
So yeah, put me and my merch assistant Riley to work, please. We want to clear out the new merch room. So buy some stuff this weekend. Anyways, we will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being in the comments. Thank you for hanging out. More important than all of that, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat. I'll give you a 4-second head start. Most important thing we do, drop it. Up the pids.